Testing, testing. All right. Hello, this is Serrano with the New Jersey Pulse News. I am here in front of the Passaic County Courthouse, Superior Courthouse, with Harley Breite, who is a defense attorney in the city of Patterson and all over. What area do you cover?
All over the country, really.
All over the country. Okay, so today I covered a case, which is what we're going to show after this interview, about a young man by the name of Oliver in the city of Patterson. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this with Harley, because he covers a lot of the cases with young minority men, and he has seen the transition where these young men are missing something and they turn into a life of crime. So I want you to tell me what's your view on how these men convert into a life of crime and what could be done to stop it.
Well, I think first it's important to realize that there's an epidemic out there. There are too many young people without good father figures. I was blessed to have wonderful parents, and I feel that I owe something back. So when a client comes to me on a consult or somebody refers them to me, I like to know their family background. Many of my clients don't have fathers or mothers who are attentive, who are caretakers. They have poor educational backgrounds. They find themselves surrounded by bad influences and such, and they really don't have the good family structure. And I think that that's a failing for the prosecutor to realize that and understand that we need to rehabilitate, not just prosecute.
So somewhere the kids in Patterson, they grow up in an impoverished community. What can be done, or you think could be done, to ward off them turning into a life of crime? And so many cases in here, you have defended a young, especially African American men.
Right. Well, there's a serious problem in this community, unlike many other communities. And one, there has to be a reverence for scholarship. There has to be an understanding that you must graduate high school. That is the first line of demarcation. Do you have a high school diploma? Secondly, you shouldn't have children when you yourself are a child. So you need to have a basic education or learn a trade. We have a Passaic County Technical Institution, a high school, that provides training for so many good jobs and occupations. It's a wonderful opportunity, and the kids in Patterson can take full advantage of that. The libraries are free. There's no cost. My office is next to a library. The library is always empty. It saddens me. So, education, not having children, not being surrounded by bad influences. The gang problem is epidemic. Also, the drinking, the addiction to drugs, none of that is of any benefit to these young kids. And I think with a little more structure, a little more guidance, a little more reverence for things that can be achieved with a little hard work and discipline. Nobody has shown these kids that with hard work and discipline, you can achieve great things.
How do you reach those kids in the gangs in the first and the fourth ward in Patterson? How do you get to them? We know some of this that you spoke of, but how do you get to them from where they are to get them out, to reach them before they have to come to you for defense?
Well, there's outreach programs, certainly. I mean, I speak all the time at different schools, high schools, lower schools, elementary schools, about the ramifications of hanging out with the wrong crowd and getting involved with drugs and gangs and things like that. But it has to do with role models. Not everyone's going to be a rap star or a basketball player. Condoleezza Rice is a wonderful role model for young African American girls. Colin Powell is a wonderful role model for young black Americans.
So how do you get that to them?
Through education, through training, through examples. Instead of the media blitzing advertisements with Bentleys and rap stars and everything, why not a little education? Why not showing someone that, hey, if you make $300 a week, that's better than making some money every day selling drugs, that through hard work, step by step, it pays off.
So if I say to you, Harley, let's go down into the third and the fourth ward and get this message to the kids, what would be our first line of communications to them?
I would just show up. I would just say, hey, everybody come here. You want to be like me? You think I'm someone you want to emulate? This is how you do it. I went to college. I went to other schools after that. I spent a lot of time sitting on my ass studying, and they can do the same. I'm no better than them. I'm not smarter than they are. They just need to have a work ethic ingrained in them. And we could do it. We could reach out to them. But what are the schools doing to get them at a young age to realize? They don't bring people in to speak and say, hey, if you want to be like me, not me personally, but somebody of substance, somebody with whom they're enamored, then this is what you need to do. You need to stay in junior high school. You need to stay in school. You can't join a gang. Why are all my murder cases involving gangs? Every murder case I have with a young adult involves gang membership. It's crazy.
So how do you get to that point from before they pulled a gun or joined them to get to you?
You go to the school and you say, listen, let's set up a program. I'll come in and speak for 45 minutes to an hour. I'll show them a lifestyle that they can achieve, that they would want to emulate. But I'll tell them it doesn't come without hard work. Nothing is given to you in life.
And if they don't want a hard work, they just want an easy ride?
Well, some people you just can't help. But
They're going to end up in your hands.
if they can afford me, yes. But the truth is you can't reach everybody, but reach as many people as you can. And through good example and over time, you'll have a lot of success.
So you're thinking getting some mentors, going down to the kids, speaking to them, showing them what can be done differently in their lives?
I do it all the time. Bring them to a charity event for mentally and physically challenged kids and show them, hey man, you think you have it bad? Look at this kid in a wheelchair, Down syndrome, mental retardation. Come and learn and see how blessed you are. And then from that, build upon it as a stepping stone.
So you do have a program. Tell us about that program.
Yeah, I have a charity that I run for about 25 years now. It's called Harley's Kids. I have 200 mentally and physically challenged kids. They're not actually all children. They range in ages. And I throw parties about every 2 months for them. And I tell all my friends, bring your kids. I don't ask for money. There's no donations. There's nothing. We have pizza, soda, toys, everything, costumes, every 2 months. But I say, bring your kids. Because the moment your kid complains that he doesn't have the new iPhone the day it comes out and he's deprived, he's lost his perspective. And I tell people, come and just watch the beauty, the joy that these kids have, Down syndrome, mental retardation, just from dancing. If you're not touched by that, then you're dead from the neck down.
How can your program help the kids in Patterson before they get into the games?
Well, they can see that they're not so bad off, that they have an opportunity to help others. And through helping others, you always help yourself.
So to a mother listening that says, okay, that sounds great. How do I get in contact with you? How do I get my kid in your program?
Just call me. Just call me. It's free. There's no charge. I don't want any money or I don't want anything. I just want your kids to come to the parties and see that they have it good.
So you have parties?
Every 2 months.
Every 2 months. And what is the name of the party, or where's the party held?
It's called Harley's Kids.
Okay.
It's in Clifton,
right,
at the Athenia Veterans Hall. Every 2 months we have Christmas party, St. Patty's Day party, Halloween party. We just last Friday had a whole day up at a campsite in West Milford. We took 200 kids up to a campsite for the whole day. Meals, parades, medals, everything. We play bingo. The idea is to get people involved in something to help others. When you place somebody above yourself, you're always going to benefit yourself. And I think that there's not enough, unfortunately, there's not enough role models out there in the urban communities. And the role models they have, they're just not doing it. A role model of somebody holding a joint and a gun and putting that picture on Instagram isn't helping anybody.
Is that even a role model at all?
It's strange to me that I'm representing defendants, I'm representing clients, young kids, 19 years old, and the prosecutor's introducing evidence of them holding a gun at their own trial. It's very difficult to understand this mentality, but I think through time and training and good role models, we can overcome that.
If me or somebody else wanted you to come into Patterson and reach out to those kids in those areas, would you be willing to do that?
Of course, I do it anytime you want. I'm not saying I'm the right role model. Right. I'm just somebody who's willing to say once in a while, right, there are things more important than myself. I'm blessed. I had great parents. I have a great life. I'm healthy. I'm blessed. I owe to give it back something. And if everybody gives back just a little, everybody's going to benefit. There's enough to give. You don't have to have it all for yourself.
So for some mothers listening or people listening or groups listening and they want to say, hey, I love what you're saying. I want to call you to come to Patterson and come into these areas and maybe do a little demonstration? Or
I'll go to homes. I'll go to schools.
Okay.
This is what we do. I bring other people with me. My training partner, Craig Richardson, is a professional bodybuilder. He grew up in Patterson, in the ghetto, still lives in the ghetto. He has a high school. He went back to high school. You know, it's very interesting. I said to him, he went to high school at night when he was already in his 30s. I said, why are you going for a high school diploma? Why don't you just get a GED? It's much easier. And he said to me, Harley, I had a son when I was 16. He's in high school now. If he says to me, Dad, I'm quitting high school, you quit, why can't I? I don't want my son to say that to me. And he went back, he earned a high school degree, he's got an associate's degree, and he has a great job at Passaic County Tech High School. He's the type of role model you want.
And you bring that with you?
I bring him with me, and I say, look, he did it, I did something. I have other guys, I have fighters, I have bodybuilders, I have male role models who might be attractive to the other males, young males in society. You know, you got to bring someone with whom they can sort of assimilate to.
Relate to.
Yeah.
All right, so how can they reach out to you?
They call me, 973-872-0604. I'm easy to find.
Say it again.
973-872-0604. My office is in Patterson, 958 Main Street in Patterson. Just call me.
Your name?
I'm Harley Breite, Breite. You can go to YouTube and watch our parties. Just look up Harley Breite in YouTube. It's called Harley's Kids. And you'll see that there's a great joy in giving, even just a little to others. I get back more than I give. It's unbelievable.
Okay. I wanted to interview Harley because I was in the courtroom when he made a speech about the young man, Oliver, and the life that he lived and how he got to where he is in this courtroom. And I found it interesting that Harley knew when the life changes, so when the first act that turns into their last act. You mentioned something like that. The first incident that they committed one crime is when you should grab them really quick and stop it, because once you let that go, it leads into...
Even before. You've got to get them before, but there are signs. There are telltale signs. Smoking, drinking, missing school. Grab the kids then and say, hey, who do you want to be when you grow up? And then it's an easy choice for them. But you make it easy by presenting the proper role models and telling them there's no shame in hard work. You work hard, I work hard. It's not impossible. Everybody can achieve.
And that's where we are today. So anyway,
I don't know where that is, but
in a better place than some of those people who went the wrong way. So anyway, I wanted to get this out of Harley. I'm going to play the video in the courtroom where he was defending the young man from going into prison. And all too often I cover these cases, and Harley has been in all these cases where these young men end up in his hands, who can afford it, and end up in the prison system. It's not just the person that pulls the trigger that's the victim. It's the family on the other side too. So you have grieving families on both sides. So what I hope to do in Patterson is to try to hope that maybe I can do my own stuff with Harley in the city of Patterson. And if you're a mother or father or somebody in the community listening, you've got his information, be sure to call him, because I don't want to give you an excuse that no, you don't have a mentor or somebody, and you don't have to pay him. He's free to come down and speak to your kids in your community, in your homes. If you're a mother and you have a troubled child or you have a troubled street, he'll be willing to come down and speak to them.
But
okay?
Look, also, a lot of these young kids who I represent, they don't have any money to pay me. I take the cases for free. Gregory Oliver I took for free. Jameer Moore I took for free. There's lots of cases I take for free. You make it on the back end, but you have to help people. You have to give something to others.
Okay, we're not saying he should always be for free, but if we can get to those kids before he has to decide free or no free, let's try to do that. So, Harley, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you speaking to me today.
Thanks.
This is Surrounding New Jersey Pulse. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. So